Okay, so let me welcome you all to this seventh day. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon.
Good evening, Vivek.
Good morning. Sorry. So what do you want? We go to scope management and
Vivek, I do have one question regarding the quiz.
okay.
So, give me a minute.
Yeah, let me go to the website. Give me a moment.
Sure.
Which quiz site?
The one which had that problem, I'm trying to get the same number. Quiz, I think it's quiz 4. Yeah, quiz 4, question 16.
Oh, the network diagram. Float.
Yeah, no, that one.
The quiz for the
The
float.
question 30, the other one I got it right, the question 30, sorry. Quiz 4, question 30.
Give me a moment. Just opening it.
Sure.
No, I have got case study only from one person. Okay, you're talking about question number 16, right?
No, sorry, 16 I got it right, 30.
30, the last one.
Yeah.
Okay. The brainstorming one.
Yeah, I got it 32. I think I missed something there. When it comes to, the activity from F to G, is it Fs minus 2 or is it Fs plus 2?
Fs plus. Which one you talking about?
The question on quiz 4, question
Which was
30,
time
the
management or
network
scope
diagram,
management?
it asks to calculate the time management.
Time management. Okay. The last one.
Yeah, the one which asks for the duration of the critical path.
Okay, so based on the diagram, what is the duration of the critical path?
Correct.
Oh, it shows the critical path is shown
So
here.
my question here is,
Right.
yeah, so I see the answer to there, but I am not getting, the 24, 31, 24, 31 on G, activity G. So I think I'm missing something there.
You are getting here 12, 22.
Yeah,
Then Fs minus 2.
yeah. I didn't actually understand. If it's
Oh,
Fs
okay,
plus
okay,
2,
okay. No. I think the answer is wrong. You are right. The answer is wrong. It should be 20, not the 24.
yes. In that case, the answer is going to be 32.
In that case, the answer going to be 32. Absolutely.
Okay, great. That's all I had because I wasted a lot of time yesterday.
No. This is Fs minus 2, so it is ending on 22nd. So
Yeah.
it is minus 2. It should start on 20th,
Correct.
and it will
Okay.
be a minus of 4. So it will be 32. Right. Absolutely
Yes.
right.
Okay. So I think the math is the best way to score points for definites, rather than making some wild guesses on the other objectives. So I kind of concentrated on the math part. So if you understand the math part, you are 100% sure that your answer is going to be right.
Right. Well, it is a very simple math actually. It's not. We are not solving trigonometry or calculus.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so let's move then. I don't want to waste more time.
Anybody
Thank you.
has any other question?
The all others in the next was like the theoretical ones. I checked with the correct answers, and except one or two I got convinced. But I will sum up all my questions end of the course or something. So interest of time. So let's move forward.
No, it's fine. Actually, I have reserved some time for this discussion. So if you have the explanation, but you are not
Okay.
fully convinced with the explanation, then we can discuss that point.
Okay, so another thing. So let us go to the other quest about the cost management.
Okay.
I have one more question there.
Tell me.
Question 26.
26. Okay. Right. Okay, following table shows performance of a project over last 5 months. If the project continues with the current rate, what forecast will you give about project completion based on this data? So what is given here is TCPI.
Yeah.
Right? It's not CPI.
Yeah, TCPI. Yeah, I agree. So what is the approach to resolve that question? That is what I really wanted.
See,
Because
it
you
is
see
just
4
asking
options. And
current rate. What is current rate? Is this?
Pardon?
Current rate is this.
No, Vivek. See, we have 4 options for the question, right?
I agree.
So,
but I'm saying the current rate is this. Other data is useless.
what do you mean by current rate?
You play cricket?
Yeah.
Okay, so you must be watching also.
No, I was a key batsman and a spinner when I was there.
Fantastic.
In my team.
2020 has started. You just look at it. On the first over, it is the asking run rate was 1.1.
Oh, okay, I got it. Okay.
Got it. Okay. Cricket make it easy.
Yeah. In that aspect, Vivek, I understood what the rate is you talking about. But when you come to the the answer part of that, I'm not able to figure out which exactly is the right answer. For project will complete late and over budget. The project will complete in less than budget cost. So I opted for the second one because yeah, I can understand the rate which is going and it's fluctuating, right? The rate is fluctuating from 1 month, from the first month to fifth month, right?
Right. If you see that the project is doing better and better. So in the first month, it was behind schedule actually.
Correct.
The second month is come on schedule. Third month, fourth month, fifth month is maintaining more or less 0.9. That is
Yeah.
ahead of schedule. Or ahead, not a schedule, actually spending less and achieving more.
So yeah, I agree. But the question is, what forecast will you give about the project completion based on this data? So I think I didn't probably understand the question right. So here, what the forecast in the options we see that one is regarding the cost and another is regarding the time. All right. Option A is talks about both time and money. Option B talks about only money, and option C talks about time and money. No, sorry, time, earlier time.
So Vivek, Sai is asking why the cost is overriding versus time in the answer.
Because CPI is actually about the cost. TCPI does not tell are we ahead of schedule or behind schedule. It only talks about we are overrun or underrun.
Okay, now it makes sense.
Okay.
The
Okay.
TCPI
So yeah, I understood. Thanks, Eva. So I understood. It has nothing to do with the time. It has something to do with the cost, right?
Right.
Okay.
In fact,
Okay, great.
the EVM is weak on schedule side. Even if SPI and SV it is talking about, it is also, if you see the project, once the activity is completed, the SPI come to 1 or SV becomes 0. Even if the activity finished delayed, the SV will be 0.
Okay, now I got it.
So
I got it.
EVM
Simple
is
as that.
weaker on the schedule side,
It doesn't
more
have
on
anything
cost
to do
side.
with the time.
But SV and CV till the time,
Okay.
SV and SPI till the time activity is not completed, it give a idea about that how we are doing on schedule. But CPI is about
Okay.
cost and TCPI is also about cost.
Okay, I agree now. As I am rereading the meaning of TCPI, it's about cost. I agree.
Yeah.
I just didn't see that either myself. I got it wrong. I didn't read the description in that direction. I was like, why this is not considering.
So it is the TCPI is asking burn rate. You can say the money burning actually, the dollars which are burning in the project.
Okay.
So it is TCPI is actually a forecast. It is just the question is only about converting a number into description. Good morning, Ishikesh. So anybody else has any question, or it's going well, all the questions, etc., or didn't get the time to do it?
Vivek, in fact, the next one also, if you could help me on that, it will be
Okay.
great.
27. You are working on a large project with a total budget of $2 million. You have spent 1.2 million as of today and completed 50% of the work. Looking at current resources available to you, you forecast that you can achieve a CPI of 1.1 from today until project ends. Which of the following is the correct forecast for the project? So it is basically a calculation, and you need to actually it is given already that TCPI is 1.1.
CPI.
No, this is TCPI actually. You forecast that you can achieve a CPI. You have not achieved. CPI is about past, TCPI is about future.
Oh, another way of thinking. Okay.
You can
Okay,
achieve
that's
a
where,
CPI.
you
So
know,
we're
that's
talking
where
about forecast.
we got confused. Yeah.
Okay. So 1.1, what is talking about is actually TCPI. Is this, it is giving some idea that how it should be solved, and that is what we are comparing here actually.
Okay.
So what we need to find out, what is the remaining work, and then divide that remaining work with the TCPI. That will give you the ETC actually.
So it will go beyond.
So EAC is
2
ETC
million,
plus
yeah.
money you have already spent, which is
Okay. I'm looking at the math. So it will go beyond 2 million. It
Yes.
crosses 2 million. So yeah, in that case, the
will cost
option
more
is
than
the
its
project
budget.
will cost more. Okay.
The
Okay, got it.
critical thing is this actually.
Okay. Thank you.
Anyone else has any question?
By the time, so I have said calling after 9. So you said okay?
Shrikant?
Hi.
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 So I'm just waiting if anybody has anything to ask. If nothing, then I could move with the quality. Okay, so let me minimize this. And okay, I have a case study from Omakan. So let me discuss that also. So, see, first of all, I want to congratulate Umakan because he's the only person who has sent this. Okay, and he has prepared
Good
quite
job, Umakan.
religiously.
I'm not sure how far it is correct.
Sorry?
I'm not sure how far it is correct.
No, it's not about correct. It is about attempting. This case study is like that. The person who will attempt will learn more actually. Okay, so I give some analysis of this, what you have done. So first of all, this because it is prepared and you have added some more field into this, so that okay, it's more creative work. But couple of issues which I will tell you. I have just seen this now because you have, I think, sent some time back.
Yeah.
Okay. So what you write here is project objectives to create a new product that would increase companies market share in mobile phone industry and increase companies mobile market share. You know, one thing about objective is that they should be measurable. Now, when we say increase market share, it doesn't give any idea actually how much. Are you getting my point?
Yeah. Maybe figures here.
So you can say like it may be increase the market share by 20%.
Yeah, I've actually put it in the scope statement in the
Okay.
business objectives.
Okay, project decision, develop a new mobile phone that would appeal to older generation. I think like this, maybe we can add some more, but it is okay for this purpose. Business case is well written. It justifies the reason for launching this mobile phone. Now, with respect to project scope, I think we, instead of telling what the project is, we should tell that what is there, what is inclusive in the project and what is exclusive in the project. Like we can say in the scope of the project, the first 10 mobile phones will be developed as part of this project. The rest will be developed by the manufacturing team. The idea of the scope is that to understand what all is there in the project. So project scope in this case, it looks more description of the project than actually inclusiveness and exclusiveness. So that has to happen. Whenever we are writing scope, we should be focusing more on project-wise and product-wise both, that what should be inclusive and what should be exclusive. Deliverables are fine. I think these dates as well. We have added this budget. How did you calculate this budget?
I've calculated the resource costing and the number of hours for the 6 months.
That means you prepared
the resource costing has come up to the what?
That means you prepared the schedule.
Yeah, I assume that all the resources are working full time, and for the 6 months, the number of hours that they're working and the costs that are incurred on each resource.
Okay. Then it will be over. Then it will be higher actually.
And that will taken into consideration the management reserves and the contingency reserves as well.
Okay, stakeholder and known requirements, that is fine. I think the older generation, one more thing maybe you can write accessibility. The small buttons normally are not so comfortable.
Yeah.
Project team success and appreciation. I am little say about that success and appreciation. What is success? Actually, we need to tell what will make this project success.
Okay. You mean the
How will you say that the project is succeeded?
Meeting the user requirement specifications.
Yeah, but see, the main thing of the mobile, it's a concept, right? And project team will get appreciation when the concept becomes successful. Successful means the only thing which can like measure the success is how many people buy it.
So performance, you mean the financial performance?
Yeah, you can say in 6 months, if so many products get sold out, then can be considered as success. Or on time you can launch. Something like that. Performing organization profit from the venture. Yes. Okay, so you have highlighted the risk also, which is a good idea. But your mitigation plan is actually a contingency plan, because it is talking about a plan which will take place once the risk is materialized.
Okay. So mitigation is something that should be in place to avoid the risk. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, anyhow to reduce the intensity, avoid it, reduce the chances of happening it. But overall, I think I will say it's good. In fact, the whole purpose is to understand these nitty-gritties of these documents. These documents actually make a lot of sense, though they are easy to fill. Once you like practice this, how to fill this. Now these common mistakes normally happen. So this is a very common mistake in objective, that we do not write very numbers in objectives. Okay, let me open your scope statement. Okay, so the older generation people find the latest smartphone difficult to use, and this left section of this gap. This is the same, right?
Yeah, that is
Business case, business objectives. Okay. Build a user-friendly smartphone for older generations and capture 25% of the mobile market share to contribute to the increase in the year-on-year profit of organization by 10% with the new release. Okay, now this is good. The only thing which you need to add something here is the timeline. 25% within 6 months, 1 year, 2 year, 5 year. Good. Here also the same thing. Actually, we can talk about in the mobile phone product also, what features are inclusive in the scope, what features are exclusive, that we will not talk about, that the flashy design is not part of, or it should, because it is not for old, it is for old people. So the focus is on accessibility, how they comfortably use it. So we can write some features which are not to be focused in during this project, or we should not include, because it is a natural tendency to move to something which is very flashy and hot current nowadays. We have taken a different step, moving away from those flashy and hot things from in the market. So we should crystal clear about that what is not to be focused in this project. Product packaging, vendor management for material, and proposal for next release.
So I've considered these as out of scope.
Yeah, I think that would be better if you have written down some feature of the product of the mobile phone which need not to be there in this mobile.
Okay.
Otherwise, this is also okay actually, because they are not part of the current scope anyway. The completion criteria, finalize software and hardware release, quality acceptance, and documenting lessons learned. Actually, this is not a completion criteria. This could be, okay, could be one. You can say that until unless lesson learned are documented, project will not be treated as completion. But basically the idea here is that from the success criteria kind of things, that when we say this product is acceptable, like a manufacturing team do a review, right? And we write the criteria that when manufacturing team has to take up this or has to reject this based on that criteria. No, it's a customer acceptance criteria kind of thing. Assumptions, timeline of 6 months, constraint, project, human resource. Okay, the resources are constrained, procurement contract, and third-party vendors are in place. Okay, that's good. Okay, so you didn't write the next one, that is fine. This is what I did. Looks good. And did you prepare the schedule also?
No, thanks. You mean the timelines? Dates?
Yeah, schedule and the budget. We talked about schedule and budget also.
I'm afraid I did not touch those.
Okay. So many other people have also not done this. Would you like to try this? Because I want to demonstrate you on the timeline and the budget side how you can prepare it. So first you attempt it, and then I will share what is a better solution for this, or should I share with you and then you would like to attempt?
Vivek,
if you share.
I don't come from engineering end of it, and I am no familiar with the cell phone business.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like my hands and my legs are a little bit more tied to do how to say forecast a project like this.
Okay.
I don't know.
I suggest here that take very common things actually here. Do not go into any kind of technicalities. Think from a very general person point of view, very common man's point of view. And
okay,
then,
I mean, I don't come from
software
or hardware development, and it's kind of, I am more of a business side of person.
Okay. So
I think the later option you suggested is, I think is better, Vivek, so that we'll have an idea, direction of how to do it.
On the schedule and budget side?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, this is a very valuable work, but last time when I asked in class, I wanted to see a finished project. I mean, I value it a lot, but I feel like I don't have ingredients to put it together as much as perhaps the other friends have it.
No problem. Let me share with you that what you can do, and it is being used. I have used Excel because this is available to everyone. I could have used Microsoft Project, but it may or may not be available to the people. So what I have done here is I've divided this into week 1, week 2, week 3 kind of things. Put the work breakdown structure here. Based on this duration, I have put this Gantt chart, and these are the basically milestones. Okay. Many of you might have done this multiple times. Now what added here is a graph which is talking about the resource loading. Okay, what is the size of the team at any point of time? So in the reverse graph you can see. Right, and below is the budget. So on the left hand side,
those figures above the green bar are the resources at particular point of time. 1, 1, 1, 3, 3, 5, 5.
Yeah,
they are all the number of resources required at that point of time.
Yeah, correct. So what I have done, I have added one for one resource, like this. So in the one BA is working for 3 weeks, so it's just 3 weeks. Then 2 weeks document requirement, working for 2 hours, 2 weeks. So I have put the number 1 for the one person working during that time. So here there are 2 people working, I have put in 2. 3 people working, I have put in 3. And then below I have added the columns.
Okay.
Is that clear now?
Yeah, fine.
And based on this, I have sketched the graph. So if there are 5, then I have 5 cells I have gone. Now, if you see this kind of gap, probably it's a matter to look into, because this may not be possible until the assignment is changing. So we need to check this out, that if it is really possible, or there is somebody who is just free for 1 week. So that person may be free, but you may not be able to release him. This green bar will still be there. Now I have created this budget. So what I have done here, I have put the resource name, their per week, per hour cost, and per week cost, calculated based on that. And then based on above schedule, I have put the resources here. So business analyst when to when. So is from this place to this place is working. Then he comes again here, work here, and work here. Now, so we have to check this out. Okay, will this be possible? He will be missing for 1 week. Probably not. Okay, similarly, hardware designer is coming on board on this date and going off board on that date. So based on that, I have added all the resources. This is called, you can see, resource loading. Okay, and then the total cost for the every week. So this multiplied by this into plus this multiplied by this plus this multiplied by this. It's come down. So every week this is the cost, and this is cumulative. So this means this plus this means this plus this, and so on. So you get the total cost of 61,800. On this column, you can also see the cost of each resource on the project. So your one sheet will give you complete idea about the schedule, about the resource loading and the budget. Right? So you may try out the similar approach. If you are using some Microsoft project or something, a similar tool, this budget will be and resource loading will be available in different views. Okay. Any question?
Fine.
Okay. We are talking about quality management, and there are three things which are important here: that writing the quality policy, setting the objectives for the quality, and assigning the responsibilities. Okay, so it is all about project. It is not about organization or group. When we talking about quality policy, it is about project quality policy. You might have inherited organization quality policy and made some small changes or bigger changes to fit for your project. Okay, so tailored organization policy for your project is quality policy for your project. There are three processes here. One for plan, second for execution, and third for monitoring and control. So as I mentioned, you need to first write the policy which will guide the project quality on the quality initiatives on the project or quality activities on the project. We should also define the procedures that how we're going to perform it. You should understand the difference and understand what activities are there in quality assurance and quality control, and set up a continuous improvement plan. Popular word for this is Kaizen. Before we move ahead, let's understand the difference between these terms, or let's understand what these terms really mean. So anybody will take some initiative in this and tell what is the difference between quality and grade.
Quality is overall wellness or the quality of the given issue or subject. Grade is where it, in that measurement, where it falls into.
Okay.
At what level? Grade is the measurement. Quality is overall concept, grade is the measurement of it.
Okay. Anyone else want to attempt it? Or want to add, modify what Jaira has mentioned?
Quality can be called as correctness of the product or service that we are providing. Grade, as Zaira said, could be the measurement, like in which scale the quality of the product or service is.
Mm-hmm. So what, when you say scale, what is that?
Any unit of measurement.
Okay. Can you little elaborate?
Okay, let me think of an example.
Example will be best.
Yeah, let's say, I know it's weird, but if we take in a, if we want to eat any ice cream, okay, we say very good quality, okay, and suppose somebody asks us to rate the quality, I'll say I'll give 7 marks out of 0 to 10.
Okay. So what is quality and what is grade in this? What is quality and what is grade?
As I said, the correctness,
So in
the
the ice cream,
correctness
what
of
is
the
correctness?
item. Meaning the, maybe here if I say correctness is taste,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, as I said, it's weird example, but
No, it's fine. If you know what is grade, then you can.
I think quality would be something, quality would be confirmation with what we decide is to be achieved, while grade would be across the scale. For example, what to say, uh, a high-end car will have higher grade than a low-end car like Maruti 800 or Alto. However, both may can conform with the standards, and the quality of lower-end car also will be very high, provided it meets the defined standards.
Okay. I think very well said. So you have cars, right? You buy cars. So car is a good example. So Mercedes have a higher grade than Honda or say Corolla. Or the Camry is actually of higher grade than Corolla. While the quality is,
but I have a question, Vivek.
yeah, Shani.
Sorry, I interrupted you. Please go ahead. If we say the example that's just now one of my friends gave, can we say grade as ranking? See, a Maruti car can never be compared with Mercedes or some other. Within Maruti, we can have Swift, we can have Maruti 800, Wagonar.
Right. That's why I give example of the same like Toyota cars, that one is Camry and another is Corolla. So Corolla is lower grade than Camry.
Right.
So grade is about richness of the features, while the quality is conformance to those features. So if I have told you that you will get A, B, C in this car and you get only A, B, it is of lower quality. So your car should not break down on the road, then that is a quality. So you take either grade of the car, but it should not break down. So they are independent as such to each other. But often we get confused with these terms.
Okay. Uh,
Yeah.
I'm still confused.
Okay. See, the grade is about the richness of the feature. So suppose you develop a software. Okay, let's take an example that suppose a shopping software, online shopping software. So when somebody buys something, you immediately send him a mail. On the other side, another software send a mail after 1 hour. Okay, but that is what they have said, because they never told you that, okay, this is, but you may like a software which is sending a mail immediately. This could be a feature of better providing a better experience than the other shopping software. Okay, or another thing is that you have an added feature into that. Maybe you have, when you are supplying the things, you supply in 1 day, other person supply in 7 days. The grade, but you are doing what you said. You told that you will supply in 1 day and you supply in 1 day. Your quality is good. Other person said, I will supply in 7 days, and he supplies in 7 days. His quality is also good. But the experience of delivering in 1 day and in 7 days will be different. Maybe you say, okay, you can order an online a gift wrap. So gift wrap is another thing, another feature added to your service. Maybe it's not a software one, but it is a part of the service. So your grade actually increases. The quality is about adhering to what promises you made, or holding your commitments. That is quality. So delivering what you said is quality. It has nothing to do how feature rich is the product which you are delivering.
So it is the degree where you fulfill the requirements to the degree, whatever the to measurement.
That is the quality.
Yes.
And how rich your product is, that will decide the grade. Is that okay? What about QC and QA?
Yes, yes.
Quality assurance and quality control. What's the difference?
So quality assurance could be the testing, testing of the product or services, and quality control could be after completion of this testing or development and testing, the conformance of the what we say CMMI levels, TMMI levels, ISO standards.
Okay, anybody want to add add in this definition?
I didn't give you any definition. I just
No, whatever it is, whatever understanding. I just want other people can add or modify this.
so we can also say that quality assurance, producing a right product, quality control could be product is produced rightly. Two different things.
Control is the
Right.
No, Zera, I couldn't hear you.
QC is the mechanism that deals with the grade that makes sure it fits into the requirements.
And QA?
Quality assurance will be the process which assures and ensures that the required quality is delivered. Quality control just controls the sort of gatekeeping at the end and it removes the bad quality and ensures that the good quality moves ahead.
Okay.
I think control is a process, and quality control is a process, I guess, and assurance is a kind of auditing.
Both are processes or both are activities as such.
I mean, quality control is the processes to make sure that.
Okay, I tell you. You producing something and here you deliver it. Okay. All the efforts about quality before this line of delivery is QA. And after this delivery is QC. You know, the quality assurance.
You mean to say auditing?
Yeah, auditing. Your SQA comes to you and audit your process. That's quality assurance. And your testing team is doing quality control work. Your testing team is actually quality control team. And your SQA quality department, they are quality assurance team. Code review. Code review is a quality assurance work. Unit testing is quality assurance. But once you deliver and a tester tested, it becomes quality control. Customer test, also quality control. So quality assurance, assure that the product will be delivered right. And quality control is the product which is just delivered or delivered is right or wrong. So this is during execution, this is post execution. Is that fine? Now what is precision versus accuracy? A is equal to 1.25. If A value and A is equal to 1.35253. So if A value is 1.27, then this is more accurate than this, but this is more precise than this. Because we have a more depth in measurement. That is called precision. And correctness is accuracy. How close the measurement is to the standard is accuracy. And how much depth we are going into the scale, that is precision. Product versus project quality. So as we have the product scope and project scopes, similarly product versus project quality. So your number of defects are normally talk about product quality, while the cost variance is project quality. Schedule variance is your project quality. There are two terms normally used in conformance to the requirement versus fitness for use. Now here the two perspectives come into picture. One is vendor's perspective, one is customer's perspective. In general, otherwise it shouldn't be different. But in general, in a common place, you will find that this is the difference. Vendor is normally given some requirements. When it delivers, it's lock up. It see that if whatever the requirements were, is it delivering on requirement? That is, are they confirming to the requirement? Are they as per the whatever I'm delivering is as per the requirement or not? So when it demonstrates that you told this requirement, I've delivered this. This is as per the requirement. But it does not guarantee that whatever product you have developed or delivered is fit to use. There is a fair possibility that requirements either not documented correctly or not communicated correctly, or some critical requirements are missed out at any place, which can make the product unfit for use. For example, suppose your government has changed the policies. A business analyst understands all policies and convert them into the requirement for the change in the software. Now he might have misunderstood some of the policies. So he will write the requirement which are not really conforming to the policies. But the vendor will deliver as per the requirement. But when you implement this product or these changes, they will not be implemented or they will not be accepted by the user because they are not conforming to the policies. So normally customers look from the point of view of fitness. Is he able to use it or not? While the vendors normally see that whatever requirements are told to the vendor, is he delivering exactly like that or different. That is quality. Therefore, we suggest the vendor team normally that you go in a step forward and try to understand what is the reason the customer is taking this project. And in the project order, you might have seen that we are talking about business case. And that business case is talking about why the customer has taken this project. And if we understand that, we not only deliver the product as per the requirement, it will be more fit for use. Many projects are failed because the delivered product is not fit for use, or it's not fit for deployment. And therefore, project charter, project scope statements become so important, and those few lines are so important that they can make and break the project. Now we look at the matrix and measurement. It is the matrix which get measured. So schedule variance, cost variance are matrix, and they will be measured during the project execution. Number of defects, is a matrix. Right? Productivity, all these are matrix and they are measured. Okay, the quality, the one is the plan, second is during execution, that is this is QA and this is QC. This is QA. The one important thing is that about the quality is that is planned in, not expected in. The planned in is a proactive approach, while the expected in is the reactive approach. That is, the quality is not what is measured after delivery. The quality is something which is inbuilt into the plan, so that when you produce the product, it is of quality. That is what the real quality. Though most of the time we go round and round on this, but actually this is the place where you have to spend more time. If we spend more time in planning the quality in our activities, in our planning and in our execution, then this will be less and less required. Okay, they are common because quality management is itself is a subject, or it becomes a subject. There is something we are talking about here, that what is common in project management and quality management. Though the quality is inclusive in project management, both are looking for customer satisfaction. Both encourage prevention over inspection. Okay, so it is something like do exercise every day so you do not land in the hospital. Okay, management responsibility. So it's a management responsibility to ensure the quality in the organization and in the project, and provide the necessary resources. A continuous implement, PDCA, is one of the things which is quite popular, and if you see, it is same as PM box: planning, execution, monitoring and control. So this is planning, doing is execution, checking is monitoring, and acting is control. And continuous improvement is implemented through this. So you plan something, you execute it, you check what is the variance, and you take an action to reduce this variance and put this into the plan and execute it again. This way you can continuously improve the overall process. Okay, there is one more thing, which is cost of quality. We'll discuss this a little later. Now, good part in the quality management is that whatever tools we are using for planning, same tools are used for during execution for quality assurance, and the same tools are used for quality control in the monitoring and control process. Okay, so in the tools, some of them are cost benefit analysis, cost of quality, 7 basic quality tools. We'll talk about this a little later. The benchmarking, that is comparing with the standards, and then some other examples like design of experiments, like doing some kind of a simulation, doing some statistical sampling, which is something like in the manufacturing, if it is a lot are produced and a small portion of the lot is actually tested to pass or fail the lot. Okay, and what is come out from this process is quality management plan, how the quality will be managed on this project, quality matrix, quality checklist. The checklists are normally documents which contains some points which ensure that we have completeness in our review. Okay, so if you do some review, so if a technical person do a code review and do not fill a review checklist, his review is only 50% effective. So there should be a review checklist before you review something, and then fill this checklist to ensure that you have reviewed each and every aspect of the product or the artifacts in front of you. So when we plan the quality management plan, we also document what are the matrices which we are going to measure on this project, what are the checklists required, and how we are continuously improve our processes. So my question to you is that why the cost benefit analysis is a tool in quality planning?
If the quality is suffering, to fixing it is more costly.
Okay, yeah, that is one thing.
That adds to the bottom line of the cost of the project.
Right.
And it could be quite expensive.
Correct. So implementing quality things requires some investment. You buy some tools, you deploy resources. It requires investment. And that investment is not bringing the benefit equivalent to that investment, may not be a good investment. We need to check that whatever the efforts we are putting, because of that, the investment required for those efforts, the benefit out of those efforts should surpass the investment. And therefore, cost benefit analysis is done. Because cost of quality is one of the tools. The cost of quality is about seeing the overall cost of the quality. That means the cost of conformance and the cost of non-conformance. That means the cost of ensuring that the product will be delivered right or correctly. And second thing, if the product is not delivered correctly, then correcting it. So first thing is cost of conformance, second is cost of non-conformance. So there are two parts of cost of conformance. One is prevention and second thing is appraisal. So prevention means like training, documentation, some tools, some automation, planning, they are all preventive measures. Because of that, the chances of non-conformance is actually reduces. So whatever the activities you perform on the project which reduce the poor quality is prevention cost. Now second is appraisal. Appraisal means checking if you are delivering the right product. So your testing is actually appraisal effort. Your reviews, walkthroughs are all appraisal efforts. Okay, so one is preventing, second is checking that if we are doing the right things or not. So checking efforts, not correcting efforts. So there is a one is construction. You construct the code, then you test it, that is appraisal, and if you find some defect, correct, then you fix those defects. So fixing defect is non-conformance. That is the cost of non-conformance. Okay, then the cost of non-conformance comes. That may be an internal failure or external failure. Some defects which are found by your testing team, some defects which are found by your customer. So rework is actually the cost of non-conformance. You get any complaint, you get any defects found by the customers, those are all cost of non-conformance. This may lead to the loss of business, checking for or arranging for customer inspection and other things. Okay, these are the 7 basic tools. I will take these all 7 tools at the end. Okay, there is a question, how can we differentiate between prevention and appraisal? Very simple. Prevention is an activity which reduces the chances of poor quality. So suppose you give a training. Training is not appraisal. You are not checking anything. You are improving the capability of your resources. Therefore, they will do a better job. And because they will do a better job, the number of defects will be in the product will be less. So this is a preventive activity. Now testing activity I am talking about is an appraisal. Means suppose somebody comes to you and review your code. So this review activity is appraisal, because it is what review person is, the person who is reviewing doing is trying to see that are you doing the things rightly. So whenever you check that are you doing things correctly or not correctly, that is appraisal. Okay, benchmarking, it is comparing your project data with the company or the industry standards. Design of experiment is done through simulations by like changing one parameter at a time and seeing its impact. Statistical sampling is normally used when the sample size is or the population is too big. Like you're doing some kind of survey. You cannot go to each and every person, so you take a good population. So a sample of the population. Your outcome will be as good as your sample is. So if sample is representing the complete population, then your outcome will be much better. There are some various tools are there, because in Japan there a lot of research has been done on quality becomes a new subject altogether, some new subject, and not only these, there are many other tools are available in the quality planning. To give PM exam, you need not to know about all these tools. But for implementing in the project, we need to find out what are these tools, which tools are applied at what time, which tools are applied at what time, so that you can select the right tool and implement it. So you get quality management plan, how the quality will be implemented, some quality matrices which are the attributes which you're going to measure, checklist. Now, performing quality assurance is the process of execution. During the execution, the idea is to reduce waste, means any activity which does not produce a quality product or something which is hitting the quality, or non-value add activity is called normally quality waste. So reducing such kind of activities or such kind of action in the project, increase overall effectiveness and efficiency, finding out if there is a probable defect or something which can produce defects into the product, and reducing those things. Okay, so quality assurance is about doing auditing, doing walkthrough of the processes or the things which are happening in the execution or the process of producing the product. So the process, quality management plan and quality metrics which are produced in the quality plan are input in here. The main tools and techniques which are used here are 7 quality tools, which we'll discuss sometime. But other tool, if you see the affiliate diagram we have discussed about process decision programs, and there are various tools as such. These are not so important to know. As I said, in the quality assurance, there are a lot of tools actually. But main thing which we have to discuss about here is the quality audits. So basic idea of the quality audits to review the process which is producing the product, identifying if any issue which can impact the quality of the product. Because the reviewer might have seen the other places also, he should share the best practices. It will help you share the lesson learned from the other projects and therefore improve the overall process of the project. Identify gap and shortcomings in the project and seeing that how they can be improved. it should result into the reduced COQ. That is, total cost of quality should be reduced. So it happens like that. If you invest more in prevention and appraisal, less you need to spend on non-conformance. That is the failure. So standard output is the change request. Or anything can update because you identify some improvement areas. And the quality control is about once the product is completed, then we do some testing and find out that if the product is as per the requirement or not. And we discussed in the scope, validate scope, that the input to the validate scope was verified deliverable. I think this is wrong. It should be verified. Okay. So the idea of the quality control to ensure that the product which is delivered is of quality. And the output of this will go to the scope, validate scope. And the output of validated scope is the validated deliverable or accepted deliverable. Need to check. I think it is verified or validated deliverable. Give me a moment. I just checked this out. I am a little confused with it is verified or it is verified deliverable and the change is validated. So we get the quality control measurements, verified deliverable, work performance information as we talk about, plan versus actual. Okay, and the tools which are normally used are 7 basic quality tools are used. I will talk about them. Statistical sampling, which we have talked about. I think the tools in the quality are for planning, assurance and the control are same. Only the purpose of using them is different. The inspection, which is normally a review, walkthrough, audit, that will also happen during for the quality control. And the output is the verified deliverable. No, it is right actually. Here it is right. This is also right. So main output is the verified deliverable, which will go to the validate scope. Okay. So let's talk about these 7 basic quality control tools which are normally used in the projects, or these are the most commonly used tools for maintaining the quality in the projects. All these tools are the discovery of manufacturing industry, that is the engineering industry, and in the software also they get adopted. So first one is the cause and effect diagram, which is also called Ishikawa diagram, or it is also called fishbone diagram because it looks like a fishbone. The quality of this tool is that it helps us to identify the root cause of the defect. So here one example is given that there are some defect in the documents, and we are trying to find that what could be the root cause. So the first we divide it into that it could be an individual problem, it could be an environmental issue, it could be issue related to the group or projects, or it could be workplace related issues. If it is individual, what it could be? It could be lack of motivation, lot of assumptions, attitude is not right, lack of experience. If it is environment related, the office environment is not right. It may be working from home and the things are not not so comfortable. If it is workplace, what is this? It is a monotonous work, every day doing the same thing again and again. Maybe lot of work, maybe time pressure. Or if it is group related, then the relationship among the team members, the motivation level among the team, not the individual. You can further subdivide into, like here it is attitude, and you say what could be attitude? Carelessness, overconfidence, self-review not done. You can further go into this. So there, in the lean, there is a one principle that is, if you ask 5 questions in succession, you normally reach to a root cause of the problem. So why there is a problem in the document? It could be an individual issue. Why it is an individual issue? How it is an individual? It could be he is making a lot of assumption. Could be a lack of experience. Why is making a lot of assumption? Because his knowledge level is low, or he does not ask too many questions. Why is not asking too many questions? Maybe there is a fear. So you ask one question one after another. Normally it says that if you do it for 5 times, you normally reach to the root cause of the problem. And this fishbone diagram actually facilitates this. The second is Pareto chart. You might have learned about 80-20 principles, that your 80% of the problems are because of the 20% of the reasons. And how it is implemented, it is a simple bar chart, but it is arranged in descending order. So if number of defects because of A is highest, we will put this first. If the number of defects because of B are less than A, then we keep it after that, and then C, then D, then E. So we arrange the bars in the descending order, the number of defects. Now it helps us, Pareto chart helps us where to focus, which root cause we should remove first so that our maximum problems get resolved. So it says 80% of the problems are because of the 20% of the root causes, and those causes if we remove, your 80% of the problems will be resolved. So you can see like this. This is around 80%. If I put a line, drop a line from here to here on the y-axis, I touch this here, and wherever it touches, I drop a line to the x-axis. Okay, that means your 80% of the problems, the reason is A and B. So if you remove these two causes, A and B, you will get rid of 80% of your problems. This is a cumulative graph. So this point, this plus this is this point. This plus this is this point. Got it? Are you getting now? Fine now. Okay. So Pareto chart, the main objective is to find out which are the reasons for which maximum problems we are facing, and focus on those items to remove first. Now, third one is histogram. It's the most common graph you have ever seen. It is simply used for plan versus actual. Okay, so this is the histogram, which is very commonly used, or most common graph you might have seen several times for various things, but normally it is used to compare 2 or 3 or 4 things. Another one is control chart. Now control chart is a little complex in nature. It is normally used to see that if the process is in control or not. So it is normally used when it is a repeating process where the things are being done again and again. Like we are talking about manufacturing units, where a product is being produced again and again. So we are producing thousands of things in a day. Okay, so every time we produce something, we put up a point on the control chart and see that if our graph is good. When the graph is good, when we get this point randomly, the randomness is the key for control chart. Anytime if we see that this chart is not appearing random or randomness is lost, it is indicating a problem. We need to investigate it. Okay, so first we define specification limits. So these two are specification limits. I think there is a little correction is required. This is upper specification limit. This is lower specification limit. This is upper control limit. This is lower control limit. The control limits are always smaller than the specification limit. So specification limits are the specification provided by the external party, maybe in many cases customer. To deliver the quality product to customer, we sketch a control limit which is lesser than the specification limit, so that we can maintain the process within specification limit. Okay. Now randomness is important. Anywhere we lose the randomness, it is indicating problem. So like there are 7 points here on one side of the mean. That is showing some kind of problem. So this is called rule of 7. So if there are 7 or more continuous points on one side of the mean, shows some abnormality. 7 or more continuous points either rising or falling may indicate some kind of abnormality or problem. If the same pattern repeat itself after some time or a regular period, something like that. You see this 1, 2, 3, but it is random right now. But after some time you also see here 1, 2, 3 in the same manner. After some time you again see 1, 2, 3. No, it is showing a pattern. It is not random. It means we need to look into the process that there could be a problem. The points, continuous 7 points, are hugging to the central line, that is the mean line, or upper control limit, or any line actually, upper control limit, lower control limit. If they are hugging the line, continuous points, then there is a chance of having a problem. And one more thing is that if any one point goes out of control, we need to investigate the matter. Okay. So control charts help us to maintain the sanctity of the process. Anytime we see some kind of pattern, we stop the process and look into the things that is everything fine. A pattern normally shows that one of the machine or one of the value adding component, either is a human or the machine, is causing some kind of problem. Okay. A scatter diagram is normally used to develop a relationship between two variables. We in the time management, in the duration estimate, we are talking about parametric estimate, right? And parametric estimate, we were talking about studying various projects, and from that projects finding out or deriving a formula which will be used for future projects. Now scatter diagram is a similar kind of thing which is used for regression analysis. Now what is happening here? This is x-axis, this is y-axis, and we are plotting some data which has come from some of the projects in the past. Now here we are not finding any relationship, but here if you see, when the x is rising, the y is also rising, while in this case y is falling when x is rising. It could be something like that also. So when X is rising, increasing, the Y is changing exponentially. Exponentially, it is not changing in linear fashion. It is not like that. That means X increases, Y does not increase in the same manner. It increases much faster than X. So it helps us to create an equation between Y is equal to X square plus 1, something like that. And this can be used for future projects. If we know X, we can know Y. A simple example, effort versus size. The size increases, effort also increases. But effort increases much faster than the size. These are scatter diagrams. Run chart is a very simple thing. You just taking one, like if you are measuring that how many, what is the pattern of the open defects. So in Jan it was 30, in February they are 40, in March they are around 40, in April they go down, and then after that they are increasing. Now I will give you some understanding about this statistical method, though it is not required for PMP purpose or any other purpose as such, unless you are implementing in your project. It is just talking about how normally we measure through statistics. So in this you have some boxes whose weight is being calculated. So you get an average here or some here. This is called standard variance. You know, we talk about standard deviation, the square of the standard deviation, that is point minus mean and square of that, and we take a summation of this. And how we calculate the mean, the total upon divided by the number of points, and we get the mean. And the variance is this. And for standard deviation, we take the square root of variance, which is this. And if we see that our limit is 3 sigma, our upper limit will be this and lower limit will be this. So we are talking about the control charts. This is how we derive our control limits. Because what is our tolerance? Tolerance is 6 sigma, 2 sigma. And therefore we calculate like this. So if it is 1 sigma, it is 68.26. It is 2 sigma, it is 95.955. The third 3 sigma, it is 99.73. If it is 6 sigma, it will be 99.99. This formula shows that is the process is capable. So if the CP come out as 1, the process 1 or greater than 1, the process is capable. If it is come out to be less than 1, then process is not capable of producing 3 sigma results. That means some of the results of this process will fall beyond 3 sigma. This finishes the control, the quality chapter. project quality management. If anything you're not clear, difficult to understand, or anything you want to elaborate on, let me know. So this is all for today. In some time we will enable the quiz. You can attempt it. The best time to attempt a quiz is immediately after the chapter, because it is easier to recollect what we have understood during this. As the time goes, if you are doing this same quiz on next Thursday or Friday, it would be difficult for you to recollect and it will take more time. Now, if you have just completed this, like this chapter, you immediately go and attempt this quiz, it will be easy to recollect. When it is easy to recollect, it also sustains for a long time.
Thank you, Vivek. I have another question. I was wondering if you can go over one of the questions on quiz 5, question 22.
Quiz 5 is, okay, cost management.
Yeah, and then question 22.
Question 22, okay. Okay, this is contingency reserves?
Yes.
Okay. So contingency reserves, by default, if no adjective is attached to it, it is about cost. Otherwise, it will be called duration contingency reserve or duration buffers. Should I explain you further?
So it's, I guess when you say it's about cost, I kind of stuck there.
So by default, contingency reserve means cost, money.
Okay. If it is only about cost, I guess there is not much to look for. It stops there.
Otherwise, if it is related to duration, it will be added here, the duration contingency or duration buffers. It will be termed like that. But if there is no adjective, only contingency reserve, by default it is cost. Because the contingency reserves are some percentage of the total cost of the project. That means if some risk get materialized, you go overrun. Now, because the contingency reserve is already there, you utilize the contingency reserve and stay within the budget. Because a budget includes contingency reserves, which you are not supposed to spend. You only spend when you have some kind of cost overrun. So it prevents you it prevents the overall cost overrun because contingency is part of your budget.
So Vivek,
Yeah.
Sorry, actually, I also got this question wrong. So yes, I agree with you to a limit, like contingency as as the real meaning of that word is like if you have some contingency we can use, and to the context you're right, it's reducing the probability of the cost overrun, but when I was going through your document, I could see under reserve analysis that there was a point mentioned like contingency reserves are funds to manage schedule uncertainty. So for that reason, I opted the other point on the question, other option.
Which one?
B. I went with B since I saw that in your handout. So.
Yeah, that is again the same thing actually. It is addressing some cost overrun. Because see, what is the contingency? Contingency is a percentage of your total cost which you are not supposed to spend on the project, but it is kept there to mitigate some risk or to compensate on in case some risk get materialized.
Yeah, I agree because it has something to do with the cost. Definitely,
Right.
I agree. But I saw that. Can you please go to page 103
Yeah, I agree
on your
that
handout?
it is a part of the duration also, time also. It is part of the time also. I agree with you. As I mentioned also, but normally when contingency is used for durations, it is mentioned like that duration contingency or duration buffer. In the subject of time management, it is not mentioned because the context is already of duration of time.
But in our question, we don't have any context, right? The simple question is the contingency reserve helps reducing, probability of scope changes. That is definitely wrong. So reducing probability of schedule overruns, which is there in your handout. Then obviously my first thought was reducing the probability of cost run, and definitely that is what you also recommended. So in this case of situation, we should go with the primary objective in mind that cost is targeted, right?
Right. See, in the time management chapter, the contingency was discussed there, but because the environment or the context is already of duration, we didn't talk about duration contingency. But when in general, when there is no reference, there is no pretext or anything, and the contingency is coming without any other specification of duration, you consider its cost.
Okay, thank you. That's all.
Quiz number 4, question number 22 as well. Okay. Okay, so what is the confusion here? A project is comprised of following activity. If you need to crash the project by one day, which activity will you try to shorten first? So, do you not agree with the explanation, or this explanation is not clear?
Just needed a bit more elaboration.
See, the idea here is that I also talk about that earliest the better. So either B or E both can be done, but because we need to crash only for one day, B and E both will suffice the requirement. But because B is coming early in the network or early in the time, we will prefer B over E.
Okay, fine. Thanks.
Any other? Okay. Now we are anyway closing. So I think if there is any question, you can come back with that, and we can discuss this tomorrow before we start the actual subject. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much for coming over here and attending this session. See you tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye all.
Bye.